clearly you're not. You're obviously human, but...
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
You've come aboard the Earth colony ship, Generations ago, we set forth from the planet Earth with the mission of colonizing a new habitable world, in the spirit of our ancestors nearly a millennium ago. I don't know all the particulars, but I'll try to answer as best I can. It's a colony ship. It was built long ago by our ancestors to sustain our crew over hundreds of years in space through generations of travelers. It's sturdy, fast, and spacious. That last one is important because we had to take as many supplies as possible with us on the journey. Oh. Hopefully it won't inconvenience you too much, but we're in a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and... the others. We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using us. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea. We're not entirely sure. Our engineers believe it's possible to... all we hear when using them to communicate with anyone is a bunch of disturbing noise. Of course, we know that now. Human or not, we were still unable... As soon as we discovered them, we fully... Now then, please follow me. There's much... Dr. da Costa, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am. For security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened.
Never seen a ship
He
like
gathered the
yours
best
before.
and brightest
Then
he could
again, I haven't seen
find,
any
built the
ships
Constant,
before.
and set a course for this planet
Careful
here.
waving that fancy gun around.
We were told that it was the
We don't need to
largest,
see.
most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time.
If you
We
can...
believe entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Just because our equipment's old, doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
So, here we are. Let's talk. We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in but since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of... We suspect that our equipment is woefully obsolete compared to whatever you all have now. In all honesty, we never expected to need to communicate with anyone, so our comms aren't particularly robust. That limits our options. We even attempted communicating with lights and sounds, something we saw in an old movie, but I don't believe they picked up on it. If anything, it may have inadvertently alarmed them. Ah, so they have. And it sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us meet. Yes, of course. But we need to stop. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mute. But initially, I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond. We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I'm sure our first settlement may be small, but that will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have... I'm serious. We have a right, but as you're currently our only hope, perhaps you'll honor my request and give it your all, for the sake of some very weary travelers who have come...
Now that we know what's out there,
There's so much more to learn.
we were never trained to address things. Just stay out of trouble.
Hello there.
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment? Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you... Sure.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet, not our amenities.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them. The resort facilities are precisely what we bring to the table. Heck, it's the only thing we've really got to offer.
Ah, I don't want to risk us coming off as just another artificial, shady, trash-filled dump like Neon. That's not who we are. We've got something special here. We should embrace that.
Belom's right.
Thank you.
If it's not important, bring it up with Kiwi.
I am. And you must be the diplomat Giro told me about. Welcome. But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our... You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Cut. Ah, we're being direct then. Good on you. So, what do you know about this dodge? Well, that's something. Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. Something tells me that's not going to work. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposal.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. Him? We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? Imagine the landscaping disasters they might come up with, and how that might mar us. No, much better to assimilate them into... Thanks for the offer, but my answer... They settle here, it'll be... Ah, good on you. You want to see a man named... He's the best in the business, if anyone can retro... We'll coordinate our engineering. Right. On behalf of the Paradiso group...
If
we don't
you've
want to
heard
compete
about
with
us
Leon.
elsewhere,
Bayou's
chances
ruthless.
are...
He'll do that. Anything you
It's
can to
because of
eliminate
me.
the competition. We don't need that kind of trouble.
Hello.
We could save valuable weight if we got rid of the pilot seat. Sure, that sounds like me. Oh, you should. Oliver sent a courier ahead of you. I did some research. So grab drives didn't really take off until after the ship was built. But I've got access to an ancient... Part's not cheap, though. It's a pretty big ass. Perhaps not, but I don't want to just settle for... I'm glad you understand the... That's something I hadn't... Tell you what. You're darn right it is. I recommend you go back to... We'll send the part of... Pleasure working with you.
100-year-old ship. I was hoping to talk to our visit. I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. How did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster-than-light travel and eclipse... Oh, I've heard of this technology. Maybe we can talk about it in more detail later. I'm sure you have... Oh, I've got so many... I haven't even given you my name. And, I might add, I'm one of the reasons... Yes, of course. What grab drive? All right. I have just received word that the drive is here. You do? Well, this should be a bit easy. First thing I need you to do is reroute, then turn the Last, you'll need to decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosure. Got it?
What's out there?
Sure is nice to know they're there. People out there. Looks like everything is good to go, both your end and mine.
Now that you're here, no matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down. Well, well, it would appear we have the mean. The engineers even upgraded our communications equipment. Thank you again for... Without you, we'd most likely be... I'll make sure people tell tales... I don't know if we can ever fully... crew may not realize it now, but we will be much happier with a home of our own.
Boy, am I glad you weren't some sort of alien or something.
That ship will carry the memory of your visit forever.
This is the Earth Colony ship Constant. What is the nature of your communication? That they are. I'm still learning this new comm system, but it's telling me you're the one who helped us out with it. At least scans say that's your ship ID. Cool. Can I help you out with anything? Guess that's our cue to get ourselves together and vamos. I guess we'll see you if we see you out there. Bye.
Unknown origin detected. Designated. Out. This is an undisclosed secret location. Acknowledge. Acknowledging receipt of emergent. Explanation deemed acceptable. Clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver 150 units of copper.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
Reminder, deliver required material. End of conversation.
This, for so long we hoped for any... Oh dear, I'm probably not the person. We see no one, ever. Your arrival is truly the societies have closed, while the rest hide to see which... Franklin would know what to do. He... Give it time, and for curiosities.
This unit is busy.
When your ship landed, I feared I am greatly relieved, but you come during a... Where to begin? I am Franklin Delano Roosevelt, leader of the Pragmatists. Well, it is gratifying that even Arthur... You see, I was an American president, but everyone that lives here are clones. When we die, and some of us die, I cannot imagine how... Then you must live after decades, centuries of trying. The robots clone us for a reason. But what that is and what we should do about it is it's best to meet with the other society. Word has been... There is more. I will go speak with them.
Welcome to town, Strain. The name's Wyatt Earp, and I'd be most pleased if you'd use one of the spare for a... He was. I do the best I can. I expect I do what I can. Well, I hope you enjoy. And by the by, I may have access to some essentials. I'm happy to sell them. The customer is... A pleasure talking with you.
I had hoped you would visit me. Know that you stand be queen of a dead kingdom on a dead world. Your courtesy is appreciated. If you don't believe me, know you are not alone. But I feel in my bones. I remember things no one... And the smells. If your mind and heart remain once. However, on Crucible I still lead. We are the ones to bring in a new glorious... You are skeptical. I made war. No other king or queen. And that's just me. What are bureaucrats? Petty... If we could do it ourselves, I do not care. When someone has achieved their potential, but the machines have been breaking, I need your help to... I need you to go to the facility. The robots and what drives them. The facility is where they come from. None of us can travel there. Go there, please.
stranger! Weapons out! They come!
And the woman from the start, and you're not Genghis Khan. My namesake, yes. I'm really just alone. I am pleased. You cannot be. The robots taught me so, hunt. So Franklin told you of us. Some of us, but that is blind arrogance. Perhaps you are right. But all this talk, too many of the others grow. The renegades will not. A prison of the mind and the body. Crucible, but thrones are meant to be taken, not handed. But it is a tantalizing lie that keeps. Were it that easy, I have died a dozen deaths trying to find a way out of. You get too far or disobey too much, then death. Crucible holds our lives in its hand. But now the robots have made a grave. You hold our future. Even if you think I deserved it. If you want your heartstrings tugged, talk to Amelia Earhart. You know of the facility. It is not much.
So, I must confess I'm very... You might be the... The facility has gathered some... It has told them that they should... setting us all loose. Certainly. It is evident that the facility, our community, must be weaned off the machines. Allowed to raise families so we can pass our lessons to the next generation. One day we will be worthy of going to the stars. Yes, and not to be indelicate, are we even human in this state? We have... Do not listen to passion. Genghis can be there. In some sense, we are an abomination. A science project made for unknown ends. Once we are fully human. Fully self-reliant. You have no idea how profoundly... Go to the facility and...
Over here! We need to talk.
In my darkest hours, I feared that we were all that was left of humanity. Your ship, it travels the... That's just how When I first woke up in this place, But I also knew how to fly a starship. Reactor limits. Thrust... In my mind's eye, I can imagine. And yet... The facility keeps us alive, fed and protected. My guess is the facility thought they might need a pilot one day. Am I? Listen, I know you owe me nothing. I know the societies want... Who knows? I just want... For my singles. You won't. Do you want to talk about anything else? I have a few choice, unchristian thoughts about some of them. Listen, I'd understand you making any decision you have to regarding them. And I just hope you judge me separate. I don't wish... No, I don't. She feels like... family. She broke so many barriers in her life. I would love the same opportunity one day. Goodbye, outsider.
Listen, it's not safe to... It's about Roosevelt. Thank you. There's a... Please. Ideally, before... I'll meet you at the cave. Came. These clones, they... I'm sorry. You're just too... I'm not Wyatt Earp. I wish. God, I was cloned off a monster. America's... It's like a living. If you go to the facility... And if you let any of these bloodthirsty... But no, that wouldn't be the end. Every time my new clone would appear, death, torture, pure hell. I'm afraid it's you or me. I'm going to kill you. I just don't. I can wish it a million. I don't want to die. I just am not. I'm... Just don't.
my darkest hours. Thanks for your time.
Roosevelt would destroy any hope of the mission succeeding. We are the ones who believe in the mission. We are the great minds, and our numbers are admittedly few. But we just want the machines fixed, so we can pass the test and be allowed to leave Crucible and try to... Roosevelt and the Pragmatists vex us. True, they do help us try and maintain the facility, but they deny the mission. Such hubris. We were sent here for a reason. White and Genghis and the Renegades are little more than brigands spoiling for a fight. They would destroy everything if it meant they could be unleashed on the galaxy. Clearly, none of them will ever. What is this? These papers are fascinating. And frustrating. So many questions I have. But for now, we must find the security override code to open the rest of the facility. There isn't anything like that in Crucible. This I know. This other ship, the Beagle, this must have the key. Ada Lovelace. If anyone can...
So we did... What was the... But all of that in... She's not in... I should be thanking you for... Now, about the... I always... Perhaps... I can send you the facility.